This is Mama Thea of Asli Pure, and when I want to hear the story from the lion and the lioness, I listen to Lion Voice with Ras Kwasi Bonsu.
Well, first, we want to make certain that everyone who attends the I Treat, whether I know you personally or not, has an introduction to the type of synergized energy that I and I hope to bring forth.
Okay.
So, normally there will be phone calls, or at least
Okay.
I will reach out to you personally.
Okay.
Sometimes you're vetted, like a sister might vouch for you and say, hey, I want to come and I want to come with my sister. If someone doesn't know you, I do call and I talk to you to let you know exactly what to expect, let you know that our agenda is 100% Rastafari. It's not an abridged agenda. I think a lot of times, Rastafari women in particular, we are an addendum on someone else's agenda. For example, we'll go to these wellness I treats. We read books that are talking about healing for Black women in general, but nothing that is fine tuned to our liberty, which is a very peculiar culture.
Yeah.
So this is a time that the Rastafari woman can be herself.
Well, lion voice, tell them that's the people first choice. Lion voice, make the lioness them feel nice. Lion voice, with the lion cubs we sacrifice. Lion voice, got to show the people them the life. Lion voice. Time for celebration. Out of hell, and we reach an elevation. Yeah, time for new creation. Well, black woman me come for love and protect you. Look how long Babylon disrespect you. Rastafari never reject you. Them just want to sex you. Well then, black woman me come for love and protect you. Look how long Babylon disrespect you. Rastafari will never neglect you. Lion him want to take you. Well then, black woman them treat you worse than sin. Ask them dirty boy out that them beating. How them get so slack for attack your black skin. How them get so slack for go practice bleaching. No, let's get back to teaching. Mother of creation, you know, like not a thing. Plus you're full of melanin, that's why she whining with perfect timing. No, black woman me come for love and protect you. Look along them heathen disrespect you. Rastafari never reject you. Them just want to sex you. Well then, black woman me come for love and protect you. Look how long Babylon disrespect you. Rastafari never neglect you. As I only want to take you. Well then, she survived the molestation and tribulation. Try steal your joy when you're young. Babylon want mash up your meditation. Stamp on the plantation.
Greetings in that divine name of His Imperial Majesty, Emperor Haile Selassie I. Glory and honor in the name of His chosen Queen, Empress Menen. My name is Kwasi Bonsu, aka the Dejazmatch Kwasi, aka Ras Kwasi, aka the Reading Ras, aka the Panafrican Happy Man. I'm a creative industry attorney, I'm an author, I'm an artist, I'm an actionist, and right now I am the host of Lion Talk. Welcome to the Lion Voice Network, and welcome Lion Talk. We have a familiar face here. We are at the Lalibela Institute. We talked about it on the platform. Now we are here, living culture. We can touch it. It is an institution built, owned, operated by Rastafari. Don't let nobody tell you say Rastafari not doing anything. We have beautiful Dr. Ras Jazanai Kush, who you see could be coming straight from Accra right now with the Ndinka symbols, looking very royal. We just had the second Reasoning and Roots, the first one here at the Lalibela Institute.
Yes.
We're gonna talk about the eye treat. This is a special episode about the eye treat. But before we touch the eye treat, I just want to hear in real time, how did you feel about Reasoning and Roots at the Lalibela Institute?
It was phenomenal, Dejazmatch Kwasi. Your performance, as usual, was stellar. But from the perspective of a proprietor, I was watching the crowd, and the crowd was enthralled. And so it was exactly what I had envisioned it to be, an evening for the grown folk, even though we did have youths here who
Yeah.
could enjoy themselves as well. But it was an evening where Rastafari people could reason about the King of Kings, could learn about the King of Kings. Also, you also threw in some tidbits about what's happening in current events. So it was a very informational session. And then that performance. Wow. And those tunes. I mean, you could write for the best of them. I think you have a side job, burgeoning somewhere
Yes,
as
yes.
a songwriter. I mean, but it was it's just a wonderful event. And again, on behalf of myself and SOS Productions, I want to thank you so much, and we hope that this isn't the last time, but just the first of many of your visits here to Lalibela Institute.
Well, definitely. And Lalibela Institute is a member of the Lion Pride on Patreon, so you'll be hearing so much from this collaboration. This is a historic connection that we are making here. Collective Security. She's supporting the platform. We're going to make sure we support the Lalibela Institute. So, saying that, we have a big retreat, I treat.
Yes,
So we
I.
don't retreat. I treat coming up. The Blue Fire, which is the hottest flame. Talk to us about this coming I treat. What is happening? Where are we?
Give thanks. And thanks for the correction. No retreat, no surrender. We done know. So the I treat is Lalibela Institute's signature program.
Okay.
The full name is the Empress Menen Blue Fire Leadership I Treat. It's in its first year. We began holding the I treats based on a suggestion from Rastafari women, asking, can we have some time where we're not rushed? We come together, we reason amongst ourselves, and we build. So I thought about that, and I said, I've never attended a retreat as a woman. I've seen them, I've seen the packages, but I wondered, what would that look like for Rastafari women who were calling for this? And so in, I believe, 2017 was our first I treat. We held it. The response from the public was it was outstanding. Approximately 25 sistren attended, sistren from all over. Some of them I knew just by social media friendships. Others I knew from my local community, but it was a very well attended I treat with sistrens from all over. Sistrens came in from Jamaica, the British Virgin Islands, of course, many of the domestic states. And based on the response from that, because originally it was supposed to be a one-time event, I wanted to, test the waters, but the response from the attendees was so overwhelming. And sistrens reported that they received so much from it that I knew that it would have to be an annual program. So let me just give you the gist of what happens at the I Treat. Well, first, we want to make certain that everyone who attends the I Treat, whether I know you personally or not, has an introduction to the type of synergized energy that I hope to bring forth. So normally there will be phone calls, or at least I will reach out to you personally. Sometimes you're vetted, like a sister might vouch for you and say, hey, I want to come, and I want to come with my sistren. If someone doesn't know you, I do call and I talk to you to let you know exactly what to expect, let you know that our agenda is 100% Rastafari. It's not an abridged agenda. I think a lot of times, Rastafari women in particular, we are an addendum on someone else's agenda. For example, we'll go to these wellness retreats. We read books that are talking about healing for Black women in general, but nothing that is fine tuned to our liberty, which is a very peculiar culture. So this is a time that the Rastafari woman can be herself,
Full self.
full self, but it is serious work. Some of the workshops that are offered are workshops around financial literacy, because we know that that's important. Also, workshops about how to heal yourself physically, workshops about how to strengthen your iris spiritually. So the Rastafari woman, depending on where she is in her life, can definitely find something of benefit here. 5 years and counting, I didn't expect it to be as well needed as it is, but I'm very pleased to be able to offer this to my sisters. I've always done this type of work. Prior to this, I hosted an event called A Healing in My Mother's House, knowing that as Rastafari women, we have our own specific issues, and I wanted to be able to provide a platform for us to be able to do that. The retreat is usually at first it was 2 nights, 3 days. I have extended it again based on the suggestions from our sister. Oh, it's too short. So it runs from a Thursday to a Sunday. You're sequestered, so we stay together. Now we're renting Airbnbs. When we first started out, the first 3 years, we were very rustic and we were roughing it at the campground. But when COVID hit, the campgrounds were closed. And then when we did resume the retreat, I said, well, let's try something different. And now I think now that we're going to the Airbnb, I don't know, Kwasi, if I can get the sister back out into the look where I remember when we would it was funny, and we would be in these cabins, and it would be late at night, and someone might have to go to the restroom. And I remember like 4 of us would be in a cabin and someone would go, is anybody else up? Because we didn't want to walk by ourselves in the dark. So I don't think we're going to have to go through that. And then when we were, there were all kind of raccoons and foxes. So yeah, I think the Airbnb is a little safer. But those, those were the inaugural years, and those memories were so astounding.
And I noticed a camaraderie between the Blue Fire sisters.
Oh yeah,
because they proudly, all of them who've been through, proudly exclaim Blue Fire.
Yes,
so talk to us about. Do you incorporate Lalibela Institute at all into the retreat? Do they get to come here and do anything here at the Institute?
Well, yes, I'm glad you asked that question. When I first, because the retreat is a fundraiser for Lalibela Institute. And so I remember talking about it and telling these sisters, your work supports Lalibela Institute, which is a 501c. And so they would give and support. So the first 3 years we were at the campground. During COVID, even though we couldn't use the campground, was when Lalibela Institute was retrofitted. And so they had the opportunity to come in and see the house that they built, the house that their funds built, which is really important to Dejazmatch, because a lot of times, you hear people talking about fundraisers for different things in the community, and oftentimes those things don't pan out quite right.
Yes.
But it was a pleasure to be able to bring those cisterns. And the eye treat is very inexpensive. Let me say that. And so at that time, because we were at the campground, it was even more inexpensive. It was $350. So your $350 helped to fund this brick and mortar. A brick and mortar that you, as a Blue Fire cistern, can utilize whenever you need to. So you're in Miami and you say, Rasta, I want to host a meditation session. Well, the retreat, cistern can actually use this facility.
That's part of your membership benefit.
Part of the membership benefits. Okay. And so that made me feel good because I was a woman of my word. My word was bond. Am I dating myself? Word is bond. Okay. Okay. So exactly, the Dejazmatch. And so that was something that I knew would be right in alignment with what my father, Karamawi Haile Selassie, and my Ivine mother, Empress Menen would love, that I actually set out to achieve a goal, and I did just that.
It's very powerful because we need things like rites of passage, eye treats. We need to develop, and self-care. As we mature, we realize how important self-care is. I've heard you say the cistern them can prepare to be pampered. Talk a little bit about the treatment that these Rastafari cistern who are battlefield tested. They're out there on the battlefield facing Babylon. When they come into this eye treat, what can they expect in terms of the self-care aspect?
Well, from that aspect, they can come in and they can expect to have their goodie nourished. One of the founding members of the Blue Fire Order. So you have several things. I'm going to get to your question. You have Lalibela Institute, which is the house, it's the structure, it's the tabernacle, right? Then you have the Blue Fire Eye Treat, which is open to all of I cistern. And then you have the inner sanctum of that tabernacle, right? Which is the Blue Fire Order.
She just described an ecosystem, by the way, family. So everyone should have their own ecosystem. Continue.
Yes, and so one of the founders of the Blue Fire Order is a raw food vegan chef. Okay, Sister Karima out of St. Thomas, USVI. And so even if she doesn't prepare the meals, she gives us great workshops on how to eat right. So you can prepare to not only be pampered when she blesses us by bubbling for us, but also now you can go forward and take what you've learned to sustain yourself and your family. Okay, so that's one way. Iritically, your heavens are nourished. I do workshops on meditation. Lalibela Institute has a meditation program called MEDI. And MEDI is an acronym for Menen, that's the E. Enlightening, that's the M, Menen. Enlightening, that's the E. Dawning, the D, Iowa. So MEDI, the Menen Enlightening Dawning Iowa. And so through those meditations, cisterns are able to learn how to channel and go within, to connect with their Ivine feminine, to be able to connect in particular with the 3 higher chakras. You understand? You're just learning to know who you are as the mitochondrial Eve, because that's who we are, who I are, right? Yes, the African woman, right? And so that's really important too, because once you know yourself on that level, you expect more, you womanifest more, you demand more. Your whole energy is different. So cistern get that along with the nourishing. They also get pampered by learning how to be able to multiply their financial streams of income. because we know that Empress Menen, as a businesswoman, had multiple businesses. My sister said when they went to Ethiopia, they were looking at the records when they showed you all of the different businesses that she had. So don't think that her coffers were empty by any stretch of the imagination. So all of these things are all in line with the Blue Fire, the Empress Menen Oscar Blue Fire leadership model, because I've developed a leadership model that shows the Rastafari woman, if she is interested, how to pattern her life after Empress Menen's life. You understand? So when you walk away from there, and then the camaraderie, you're connected for life. You understand, whether you come to one eye treat, whether you've attended all 5, you are always Blue Fire. Once you come.
Mighty. Talk to us. I heard that sometimes you may take field trips.
Yes.
Talk to us about the field trips. What is that like?
Well, the field trips, when we were here in Miami, because the I treat this year and the past year were in Orlando, Florida. So when we're here in Miami, the field trip is the beach. One of the field trips. And so we go to the beach and we feel joy, especially if there's a full moon. And we go out there and we have meditation sessions. We take our sacred crystals and different instruments that we use. I'm a sistrum carrier, like within the Nyabingi. Okay, so within the Nyabingi order, we have the shaker or the chakra or whatever you want to call it, chakra. Within the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, you have the sistrum that the priests use, the rattle. Okay, well, in ancient Kush, the priestesses use a sistrum. So the sistrum is really the drum for the sistrums. It's the sistrum. You understand? And so, so that's, yes. And so one of the, because you get a gift bag too when you come to the I treat. And so one year I gifted every sister a sistrum. So I carry my sistrum even when I go to Isis, and it makes a beautiful sound. You hear it with the Ethiopian Orthodox priest, a beautiful sound. So so that's one of the field trips. Sometimes we go to botanical gardens, but I have a really special place that I want to take sistrum to. It won't be this year, but in upcoming years, I'm thinking about going to. I don't want to say it.
Don't say it.
I don't want to say it. I don't
Don't
say
say it. Or maybe you say it and we put it on Patreon.
Okay.
Put a Lalibela on Patreon exclusive. But speaking of that, talk to us about the vision, because where it is today is not where it was when it started, and where it's going to be 5-10 years. Talk to us. I'm a visionary, brethren. I like vision. What is the vision for the I treat? What could you see? Money being no option.
Right.
What would you implement?
Well, money being no object, right? I would say that I could see, and I see, right? Because I'm a womanifester. I see the I treat being held on the continent, in Lalibela Institute's, or on Lalibela Institute's compound.
Okay.
You understand? So that
one in every country.
One in every country.
And traveling inter-Africa.
Exactly. Exactly.
See,
No, because Lalibela Institute is our tabernacle. So field trips to Lalibela, right? Ideally. So I see all of that. And it's not a dream. I know you weren't alluding to it being one either. So it's real.
That's why I use the term vision.
Yes.
I think we don't spend enough time blocking our vision, and we get in the history, yes, but the forward projection is what I'm interested in.
Right.
This new reality that we're the alternative to Babylon that we're creating.
Yes,
That's what gets Iman excited about the chart.
Yes,
That's the passion I have currently.
May I talk about this year's theme?
Yes, please.
Okay, so this year's theme I'm particularly excited about because I think it's a long time coming. This year's theme is the dawning of the Rastafari priestess and prophetess. Now, I personally am a prophetess. I'm a philosopher by academic training and a literature professor. You know that. The prophetess side of me is something that I was born with, something that I've come to accept at my age. And I know that within Rastafari, traditionally, the role of the priestess and the prophetess, it doesn't exist. So because of that, but because they do exist, it doesn't exist within the structure and the tradition of Rastafari, but it exists within the reality of the women who are priestesses and prophetesses. So because of that, I want to be able to provide an opportunity for women who have those energies, or even if you don't. I'm not saying that every woman who's coming this year has said that she's a priestess or a prophetess. But if women do have that energy, I don't want us any longer to have to be in the shadows. The Rastafari priest and prophet isn't in the shadows. Rastafari has a lot of its origins and basis within the Bible. The Bible speaks of priestesses and prophetesses. Moses' sister, Miriam, was a prophetess. You understand? Deborah, exactly. You understand? So those women exist. However, those roles just weren't integrated into Rastafari. Now, some people might say, well,
priestess, I don't know in the Hebrew tradition if they have a priestess tradition, but there are many African spiritual systems that have priestesses.
If you look at the Nazarite as a high priest, and the prophecy says whether man or woman wants to take that vow, you understand? So we know that the Nazarite is a priest. And if a woman can be a Nazarite, I argue that she can be a priestess just by default. You understand? So
she had an answer ready, family. See that as academic to make sure.
And as a Rastafari woman, in the liberty for 36 years. Who knows my liberty? You understand? So that's why this year is really, really special. And we're going to just open all types of very positive portals, for our sisters so that we can, because, Haile Selassie talks about the new race. And I don't think that I delve deep enough into that. We like to quote it. It's all over the place. But what does that new race really look like?
Our education has not properly prepared us.
Neither has our religious dogma. You understand? Exactly. And so because of that, and because we know the strong spiritual or ieretical practices of our mother, they talk a lot about Empress Menen and how she built churches and, how religious she is, you understand? But I will argue that a lot of the things that we view or we think are religious are really spiritual for some people and ieretical. And so with that comes, and then we talk about African traditions, indigenous African traditions that haven't been, usurped or bastardized by these religions. They have priestesses and prophetesses. They exist. You know that, Kwasi. We know that these roles exist even if we don't name them. You know that woman who can tell you her dream and then it comes true. You know that woman who can speak power over your life.
Mhm.
You understand? So we know the people, we know the energy, but we haven't given them the name. Well, in Rastafari, we're giving them this name. Will there be a fight?
Create,
Of course, there'll be a
creating
fight.
institutions that can channel these energies
Exactly.
so that we can cultivate a reality that we want to see.
Yes, I am.
I do agree. Harnessing the power of woman is critical for this new alternative reality that
Yes, I.
we are going to build. So
Mm-hmm.
um, I am an ally in the sense that this platform is the highest platform, the lion voice. Anytime the bull fire need to get a sound out,
Mm-hmm.
I and I are committed because we need. I like structure.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Because the loosey goosey or the willy nilly,
Yes,
they
I.
don't last.
Right.
They have a time, they ebb and flow.
Right.
But if we have an institution, we can build.
Right.
We can continue to scale.
Exactly.
These are the type of sounds that this is where my heavens is at this point in the movement because
Mm-hmm.
what worked in the early days will not work in the latter days.
Right.
They're
Right.
just releasing an Apple headphone goggles that
Mm-hmm.
fully immersive, where you can use augmented reality. You can, it's integrating the thing. So if we as Rastafari think we're competing with that, with just how we used to meet and chat,
True.
we gonna get blown out the water.
True.
You know what I
True.
mean?
True.
The
True.
youth them are
True.
not. So as we pass away, and as we set the institutions, everything that we hold dear is gonna pass away with us.
Yes.
You know what I mean? There are civilizations that built pyramids. You can't find them people there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So we can't have that hubris to think just because I
Mm-hmm.
Selassie the Almighty and we declare it that this judgment is non-partial.
Yes, I.
And Haile Selassie created institutions, so we're
Yes,
not
I.
even doing what he did as we
Yes,
hail
I.
him. So I,
And from a woman's perspective,
mhm,
I have been my PhD is in leadership. So that's why I am the way
yes,
I am,
yes,
right?
yes,
So I'm a philosopher. I have a degree in philosophy and a
mhm,
degree in leadership. You put those together,
together,
you
yes, we're
know,
gonna create something.
yeah,
Yes, yes,
exactly. And so, when I founded the
mhm,
Haile Selassie First Learning Center in 2005, that was the whole impetus for that.
mhm,
Where's the infrastructure? Where are the institutions?
yes,
So in 2005, I was working on behalf of my father.
mhm,
In 2017, when I created in 2015, when
mhm,
I created Lalibela Institute, I was working on behalf of my mother. So I don't come from a single parent household.
mhm,
I love both of my parents equally, and I work on both of their behalf
mhm,
equally. So it's important that we create the structures that you're talking about, that they be long lasting, and
mhm.
that they be of a certain standard
Standard.
as well.
Mhm,
And I'm a stickler for that. You understand? I mean, it's really important. We know who our parents are and we know what their standards are, and those are the standards that we uphold.
mhm.
I want to just talk about the pricing
Okay.
for the eye treat.
Yes.
So for $500, very high quality,
Yes.
from the Airbnb that we're staying
Mhm.
in. I think we have about 15 beds, so it's
Wow.
about 10 bedrooms.
And it's here in Miami.
It's in Orlando.
Orlando. Okay.
And the food is all organic.
Mm.
All of the products that we use, within our workshops are, if there's something that we, put on our skin, are organic. The workshop presenters, almost all, I believe everyone is an entrepreneur.
Mhm.
So you get that experience,
Mhm.
and so for $500, you get your own room if they book early, because we still have a few slots. The
Okay.
I treat is March 28th through March 31st.
Okay.
And so I'm asking sistren, even if, because I get a lot of calls of people saying, well, one day I want to come. And so they might be a little apprehensive because they might not know I.
Yes.
But everyone is treated with love and light, regardless if I know you personally or not. Once you come into that space, I think the mother hen in me kicks in,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like I'm responsible for
Mm-hmm.
your joy. I'm responsible for your elevation. I'm responsible for your learning. And it's reciprocal too.
Mm-hmm.
I am not the sage on the stage. I don't
Okay.
profess to be. When I leave from that I treat, I am just as elevated as my sisters. And like I said, once you're a part of our collective, you're always a part of our collective. Just like with the Lions Voice Network, how you're growing the Lions Pride.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing with this flame, this blue flame.
Which
Because
is
they're
very cheap.
it's cheap.
Inexpensive, not
Right,
cheap.
but I was
Very
just gonna,
inexpensive,
right.
yes. Very
Exactly.
inexpensive.
For
Yes.
the quality of
Yes.
what you're receiving.
Yes.
Um
But it's not cheap things. It's high quality, highest quality.
very high.
It's an ecosystem, as I said, and all Rastafari people should be creating their own ecosystem so that when the ecosystems connect, that's when we get the power. So, you know, I may not be Blue Fire, she may not be Lion Voice, but we come together and we build together. You know what I mean? And if you look at genetics, the healthiest organisms are genetically what? Diverse.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So you don't want everybody in the same thing, because if something comes that hurts that one thing, then everybody's gone. But if you have diversity within your structure, and I think what has hurt us is that for a long time we were moving like unity had to mean uniformity. And if you don't think like me, then you're my enemy.
Right. Exactly.
You know, or if you disagree on a point, then we have to be enemies and we're sworn, enemies, and that doesn't make any sense.
I mean, you and I have some very healthy debates.
We do. I love them. I love them, to be honest. And I learn. And
Very healthy debates.
Both the I and Dr. Walete, I learn,
And but you know what? I'm blue fire.
Yeah.
The I is red fire,
Yes,
right? Touch me. All right, together we are royal purple flame.
You see
Yes,
that? So I get into the purple flame. Lion boys with part
Yes,
of the purple flame.
Yes, I.
So you see, and that's only because we took the time to hear, to listen. A lot of times we don't listen to each other.
True.
We take the time, and I'm really. We're not gonna make it this year, but I told my queen, I want her to attend probably next year,
Right.
because I think it's invaluable for any Rastafaris, because we're lacking that communal strength. We're lacking that coming together and creating these bonds and family. I know you're sick of I beating this war drum, but it's gonna get dread, and I'm just sounding the trumpet because I see my people out there and we're living survival as usual. I can't even say business as usual. We're living survival as usual.
True.
And it's not going to be nice. Now is the time to end isolation and to reach out.
Yes,
grab a brethren, grab a sister, and connect with the family, because we're going to need each other in this next. And it's not going to be a quick war, 2-3 months of trip. It's going to be a 10-20 years of the world resetting itself.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we have to go into it with that mindset of connection. I need my sister, because I'm going to have somewhere to call. If I come, I may have to drive to Miami because I'm looking for a boat to get to the Caribbean. I can stay at the Lalibela Institute. I know a sister in here. We have to start thinking them ways, because the store shut down, the truck's not coming in. We got to come out of America. Oh, we're going to do that. we'd have to
Mhm.
know all of the points. I might need to stop in North Carolina with the North Carolina Union to
Mhm.
get some produce
Mhm.
because they have the stores. And, we got to start thinking
Yes, I
strategically,
serious ecosystem.
serious ecosystem
Yes.
development as
Yes.
Rastafari people,
Yes.
because even if the government has an assistance program, it might be food I don't eat. It might be,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? I might not
Yes,
be able
I.
to avail myself because I don't agree with what they are asking me to do to get access to what they want to give me.
Yes, I.
So I have to now develop my own system, and this partnership, this institution, the Lalibela Institution, you can see the beautiful logo here, the stone monument of Lalibela, which was built by the angelic beings under the reign of Emperor Lalibela, is a strong symbol. And I hear you
Mhm.
talk about the mystery school aspect,
Yes.
dealing with the esoteric
Yes.
knowledge. Talk to us a little bit about, without going into too in depth, because it's a
Mhm.
mystery.
Mhm.
How does that play into the interaction with the sister, that special knowledge, and where are you sourcing
Okay.
some of these higher esoteric knowledge sources?
Well, its origins are in ancient Kush.
Yes.
I'm a Kushite with a K, and um, you know, searching for or trying to identify, because we don't really have to search, but
Mhm.
identifying what our identity looks like as women. There are no models out there that fit I like that of our foremothers,
Mhm.
right? We look at Empress Menen, we look at her Oromo heritage,
Mhm.
and then we trace the Oromo. Where did the Oromo flow into Ethiopia from? We know they came from ancient Kush. At least that's what my
Yes.
research
Yes.
said. And so, looking at how women were treated, if you look at Pharaoh Taharka and
Mhm.
how he speaks about his mother and his prayers on behalf of his sister
Mhm.
are so powerful and loving, and the roles that they had as divine priestesses, right? So when I think about those that type of knowledge and
Mhm.
how you transmit that knowledge, because if you look at the pictographs, right, on the pyramids in ancient Kush, you see the goddesses blowing their breath or the breath of life into the queens. So you
Mhm.
see that transference. And so I wanted to be able to share some of that information and
Mhm.
just ask sisters to tap within. Do you feel that when you see these reliefs,
Mhm.
and the reliefs of the women in Kush are no way like the reliefs of the women in Kemet. The
Mhm.
women are very slender
Mhm.
in Kemet. They have a more Eurocentric,
Mhm.
look, which really makes you question if some of the stuff that we see is authentic.
Mhm.
But when you go to Kush, the women are very voluptuous,
Mhm.
very short haircuts, curly hair,
Mhm.
short crop, just like Empress Menen. That those women
Mhm.
look like Empress Menen. Just
Mhm.
go forward and check it. You
Mhm.
understand? So having that information and saying, hey, this is I.
Mhm.
This is really the key. The key is going straight into ancient Kush,
Mhm.
looking at how women were treated, how women were revered, how they were respected
Mhm.
by their sons and their husbands. You understand? How they reigned as pharaohs in some cases. All of that information is esoteric. When you connect it with Rastafari, when you connect it through Empress Menen, that's the link. That's the missing link. That's the link that we either didn't see. I don't want to say we ignored it. We
Mhm.
just didn't get it, but we get it now. So when I decided to name Lalibela Institute, it was
Mhm.
with, okay, if we can tap into this sacred knowledge and within this flesh, within this time, embody it, where can we go? It's always keeping in mind being the pillar in the members of the new race, being that female pillar.
Mhm.
So this is the woman who knows herself, the woman who knows her mother,
Mhm.
the woman who knows her identity.
Mhm.
That's what we're bringing to the new race.
Okay.
Yes, I.
And it's important because we can build a beautiful Zion, but if the people have not changed, you'll bring the same trauma,
Yes, I.
generational curses, you'll bring it over there and it will become the same
Yes, I.
folly.
Yes, I.
So we have to have that internal transformation. I just want to thank the eye once again. Is there any other information about this eye treat? And you heard there are still a few spaces remaining. So if you're watching this as a sister, reach out. We'll have the contact information in the description. We'll also have it up on the screen. Reach out and see how you can be a part of this amazing, and I'll put some pictures up as well. But be part of this. I treat some amazing things are happening. Institutions are being built, and this is why I continue to bring ones like Rasta, Jazz and I Kush on the platform, because I don't want us to feel like we're not moving forward. Rastafari is moving forward. Institutions are being built. What we now need is the support. We need the capital to flow so they can scale. There's nothing new we need to develop in Rastafari. We need to identify the workers who are doing the work and fund them. That is really, I think, 2024. We need to focus on funding the workers so that they can scale, they can pull in others, they can employ people. We want full-time Rastafari businesses. The I Tree should be a full-time business that you can hire someone to manage, and I just work on a conceptual level.
Yes,
you know what I mean? That's what I want to see for my big sister here. I want to see her to be able to just sit down and be planning, okay, we're going to do the next one in Kenya. We're going to, and you have staff that is operating the I treats and doing the hosting, and we're doing. I just spoke with Ras Jabali Siba from Jamaica, who went through the HEART program in Jamaica that trains the hospitality workers, and he's implemented that training in House of Siba, and he has staff and operation in Jamaica.
Wow!
But I want something like HEART for Rastafari, where we're training our own hospitality people to work in our service economy, because the health and wellness, that's part of our live. The I treats, we need one for brethren.
Yes.
Where brethren can come and deal with the masculine trod and embodying Kadama. We highly learn how to start a fire, how to protect and provide for the queens. And I might enter into that.
I would love that, Kwasi. And then I could come together and synergize and have that I treat for the family.
Yes.
Or for the man and woman. You understand? Yeah. I mean that, once I've been asking for the longest time, because the brethren, when the ayatas come forward, where's the I treat for I? Because the sister there was so elevated. So, but I hadn't found the right brethren.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to challenge you on your own show. Get ready.
We need the funding. If you fund, join the Lion Pride on Patreon, because if we get the funding, we'll do it, because this is something I've been talking to Bingi Sean in Ghana about. Is really irate in the rites of passage, irating, because we would do that Kazi, we could do the retreat at Kazi. We could do it, you know what I mean? So these are the things that we talk about, but again, we need funding to be able to move, to be able to do all of these things. So family, you want to see these things happen, join the Lion Pride on Patreon, join the inner circle of I ecosystem. It's open to brethren and sistren. I'm inviting single brethren and sistren to the join. I want to create an environment where single Rastafari can meet other single Rastafari, because we have to start bringing together blended families, because we have, brethren with you, sistren with you. We need to start. We had to circle the wagon in the Gideon family. We got to tighten up the thing so that we're ready to march forward and do the work which is this transformation of Africa, working with the youth of Africa to build this new Africa. His Majesty said that Africa is on the verge of a development once realized that will be unparalleled in history. You know what I mean?
Yes.
That in the speech to the Accra conference. So that's our mission. That's our mantra. Africa awaits our creators and creation.
For brethren, I know you said that 95%, is that the stat you quoted?
Yes.
95% of your viewership
Yes.
are brethren. So I would love to offer some scholarships this year for Rastafari sisters who maybe can't pay the full $500. So I am asking your male viewers, in particular sisters, if you want to, give a strength, please do. But I am asking the male brethren to just give something as simple as, $20, $25, and you can send the funds you can cash app me. Can I give out my cash app?
You can do it all. I'll put it on the screen.
Okay. And just to show solidarity with the Rastafari woman, because I have taken the initiative to do the work, to grow ourselves, to strengthen ourselves. Gregory said the daughters take a little longer. We know that ain't true because we're doing the work right now. And so I just want to ask my brethren all over to support. So my cash app is $ Rasses, RASESSJK. So that's $RassesJK. And my Zelle, you can send it via my organization's email. It's lalibela.org@gmail.com. So either Cash App or Zelle. And I would really, I would really, and every year we do get brethren who support and help. We like to offer this year. We like to offer at least 3 scholarships.
Okay.
So
So, family, Lion Pride, let's show up for the sister in them. Let's circulate the Rastafari dollar. Let's do what we know we have to do. No one is coming to save us. That's another mantra that we chant on this channel. No one is coming to save us. Don't the Calvary is not coming. We are the Calvary. We have to fund our own liberation. So let us make those sacrifices, support Sistrin, join us in the Lion Pride on Patreon. Serious people, yes, we know that the branches are out there. I speak to the core, the root. We're building this platform to talk to the root of our culture first. And then when the people come and everything, we're glad for that too. But we have to really talk to the root of our community. Show up. This is the Armageddon struggle. Support the I Treat. Let's try to raise all of those money and more for the sistering. Join the Lion Pride on Patreon and let's build together. I'm going to challenge my big sister here to do something this year, which is to capture some video footage.
Oh, definitely.
So that I can come forward to the viewers and we can share some on the Lion voice. The sisters, them laughing and doing whatever they're doing. I don't even know.
Shall.
But I want some footage of, just clips that we can highlight, that we can share, so that the ones who miss next year, they can see. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm challenging Rasses to do. And we'll report it here. So if you're not subscribed to the platform, subscribe to the platform. We're going to update on the I Treat. So again, this is not just you see people one time and you wonder what happened to them. This is not that type of platform. This is movements of Ja people. We are capturing it. You see them multiple times. You see the evolution coming in space. This is not a set. This is an actual building we're in. You understand? So this is an institution that is built, owned in full by the sistering. We have a special episode that you'll be seeing where we tour the institute. You can see the facility. So this is something that is ongoing, perpetual, and it's crucial. Any final words for the family before we see them?
Well, I just want to say to all of your viewers, continue to do good. the Nyabingi, word sound. Do good and good will follow you. Keep strong, keep vigilant, right? And just connect with the ecosystem that the I ask I and I to connect to. It's the way to go. It really and truly is the way to move forward. And I just want to say, give thanks to Dejazmatch.
Yes. And I'm offering consultations. I'm going to be working pro bono with Lalibela because she's part of the Lion Pride to help develop the ecosystem with the eye too, because it's important that we have all of the access points and we can develop so that you have your own people who are paying monthly into what you're doing, so that because a lot of us don't have it where we can give lump sum.
Right.
But what I'm trying to get us to get into is the $5 to $10 a month. We buying coffee. We can,
and it's a good feeling because whenever I see, because I have those alerts, I see when my money goes to the Lions Voice Network, but I feel good about it. Yes.
No, and it's beautiful because again, if we can get into the mindset, $5-10, I can give $10 a month to Lalibela Institute because I'm spending in the system. And my $10 by itself is nothing, but if I have 1,000 people giving $10 every month, now we're talking about something. So we got to get into that mindset of collective security as we build and develop. And I know it's hard for us. A lot of us are not technology savvy. We're not, but then that's an excuse because everybody got a smartphone. Everybody is, some way connected to technology. So you're paying bills, you got a debit card, you got a credit card, so we can tap in and support each other monthly. And that's where we have to do. We got to circulate this dollar. So give thanks for coming. Once again, we're going to have, after the eye treat, we're going to interview the eye again. I'm going to ask the eye to come forward again. We're going to show the clips. Exclusive. This is going to be one of the exclusive outlets for that Blue Fire Energy. And we're going to encourage them to have their own YouTube channel as well. That's going to be part of the ecosystem consultation. So,
all right.
Yeah, because sister need a place that they can go to get the sister energy. And you're generating a lot of content. It doesn't really to have someone there videoing it and editing and all of those things which you can work on, but you have the greater Arca there and other ones where, training to clip up the things there, and I encourage everyone to have their platform, because then when we cross collaborate, then the audiences then also cross collaborate. You know what I mean? So it's a win-win for everyone. For all of us to have our own ecosystems. And again, if one ecosystem's not healthy, then others can surround it and lift it back up. But if it's just one person with the ecosystem that everybody trying to gain from there, it doesn't work. So we have to empower each other. I say all of that to say, family, that the time has come for the lions and the lionesses to tell our own stories. And this is the Lion's Voice.
Isaac.
Time for celebration. Out of hell, and we reach higher elevation. Time for new creation. Well, black woman, me come for love and protect you. Look how long Babylon disrespect you. Rastafari never reject you. Them just want to sex you. Well then, black woman, me come for love and protect you. Look how long Babylon disrespect you. Rastafari will never neglect you. Zion him want to take you. Then, black woman them treat you worse than sin. Ask them dirty boy how that them beating. How them get so slack for attack your black skin. How them get so slack for go practice bleaching. No, let's get back to teaching. Mother of creation, lack not a thing. Plus you're full of melanin, that's what you're whining with perfect timing. No, black woman me come for love and protect you. Look along them heathen disrespect you. Rastafari never reject you. Them just want to sex you. Well then, black woman me come for love and protect you. Look how long Babylon disrespect you. Rastafari never neglect you. As I need want to take you. Well then, she survived the molestation and tribulation. Try still your joy when you're young. Babylon want mash up your meditation. Start on the plantation. First passed down through generation. Till these sheep read revelation. Weep not, tell them that the lion has come. No.